Episode 65. Welcome to Brunch with Besties podcast. I am Sherry Renee.
And I'm Chanel.
And our mission is to heal and help others as we heal and help ourselves through purpose-driven conversations.
Yep.
Today's episode, we're talking about having a lack mindset.
Yeah.
Lack versus abundance. But before we get into that, we're going to start like we always do with a toast.
All right. I feel like I keep giving my toast to the same few people, and that's okay. But today I definitely want to give it again to my mother. She listened to our last episode, and she was really like inspired by it. She was like, I actually cried. Like, it was really good.
I'm like, what was the last episode?
I know, right? I did the same thing as we were on the phone. I'm like, what was we talking about? But our last episode was blended families. And I shared a little bit about my experience. You shared some of your experience. And my mom, obviously, she knows what I was referring to. And she kind of felt some type of way about it. But that's what we do. We heal and help others as we heal and help ourselves. So as long as we're living out that mission, like, I'm good with that. So, you know, her and I had a conversation, and she was good, but she really like enjoys, like, this is like a highlight of her week, like hearing our podcast, which is really awesome. And she is taking some classes at a neighborhood center. It's going towards like MATC credits, which is really awesome for her. So shout out to my mama. And they graduate December 19th. So yeah, if you want to come and, you know, celebrate with my mom, that would be awesome. So she's really excited.
Come on, Mama Penny.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
And also, I would love to have y'all mom come on the podcast.
Yeah, she said that today. She was like, "What y'all talk about today?" And I told her, she was like, "I can talk about that." So yeah, we definitely got to get her on the show because she wants to be on here for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mama Penny, come on through. Okay, who am I toasting to? I'm going to toast to Rebecca because, you know, so if you guys missed Rebecca's episode, it was maybe 3-4 episodes ago. What did we call it?
What was that one called?
I think it was Get the Guy part like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, it was in the Get the Guy series for sure.
Yeah, so it was the last episode in the Get the Guy series, and she really just shared what she was going through. And, you know, I've been talking to her every day, and she's hot and cold.
Okay.
And that's kind of what inspired this episode.
Yeah.
So, so shouts out to her. Number one, just for being transparent.
For sure, yes.
And number two, for just being vulnerable and just being honest about where she is and how she feels. And then also just for putting in the work, you know, just to try to get better. So, all right, now let's break bread. So what's going on, girl?
Girl, a lot. I feel like it's a lot happening all at one time. Just got through a parent teacher conference, so that's like a high stress time of the year. But since I'm in this admin role, I don't actually have to conduct any conferences, so that was dope, where I just kind of got to monitor, and, you know, I checked in on my teachers, like, you good? Like, you need me to step in? Right.
Please don't say you do, because I ain't gonna help you. I just want to make sure that you don't need it.
I'm just trying to make it look like I'm working.
Because if you don't need it, if you do need my help, then you're not qualified for this.
Exactly. Like, what you doing here? No, I'm just kidding. But no, so it was like a lot of stuff that, you know, I was trying to get everything done with work. And just trying to be an adult, like finding a new gynecologist and a primary doctor and get my insurance together. So yeah, last week was very stressful, but, you know, it's over and I can start anew. So I'm glad about that.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
What's going on?
You forget about the things that you have to do when you start a new job. Like you said, like, get your insurance straight. And,
it was like 4 days of calling the insurance company, like, back and forth, like, look, y'all. And I was looking for a doctor, and surprisingly, like, I had did like a Facebook recommendation, like, hey, does anybody know like a black female like gynecologist, OB? So I got some really good recommendations. Like, people was like, try to go to this doctor. So like my first choice, she was accepting new patients, and she had to open it right away. Like, hey, I called on like Monday, they was like, we got to open in Thursday, come in. And I was like, this is great. But then it was going back and forth with my insurance, because Freighter was not playing. It was like, okay, so what kind of insurance you got, because we need to know before you come up in here. So going back and forth with that. But then the insurance did kick in, and I got to see my doctor on Thursday, which was really dope. So shout out to all the black doctors. That's my other toast, because there is a lot of like black women who are not getting the proper health care that we deserve to get, which has been a highlight in the news lately. So it's really important to me to have a black doctor, because I feel like she know what's going on. So
she know what it is.
Yeah. So it was dope. But just being an adult, man, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. True indeed.
Girl. So what's going on?
I got to go speak to the students at UW Whitewater.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so Jaquila invited me out there. Professor Ross.
All right, who was on our pod.
Yes.
Awesome.
You can catch her on our podcast. It was around tax season.
It was last year around tax season. Where's my W-2?
Where's my W-2?
Yeah.
Yes, she's on episode Where's My W-2. She gave out a lot of helpful hints, so make sure that you check her out on there.
Yeah.
But she's also a professor at UW Whitewater, an accounting professor, and then apparently she also oversees the NABA group, so the National Association of Black Accounting.
There we go. Because I was trying to.
I may have those.
I was trying to figure it out too in my head.
But yeah, so I got to speak to the NABA students.
Nice.
And kind of give them some insight on what it's like to enter into corporate America. So that was exciting.
Very cool.
And then, I'm still trying to get my step game going.
Yeah.
With the Fitbit challenge.
It's been real.
Yeah. And I told you how, on week 1, Brittany just dragged me. Like I was like, I should never step again.
Right. I'm never gonna walk
again. So she put me to shame. Like she really kicked my butt.
Oh gosh.
So then she threw me in a group with the rest of her sorors. And I was like stretching. Like I was getting ready. I brought out all my braces.
Hey.
So I was like, look.
Knee brace, all kind of stuff.
Your whole sorority is not about to kick my butt.
Hey.
That's what's not gonna happen. So I ended up finishing second.
Okay.
So out of, I think there's 9 of us in the group. So I finished second because the girl who won, I think she's like a mailman or something because she has a ridiculous amount of steps.
Every day, y'all.
Like, I told Brittany the other day, like, dude, y'all step like it's a step show.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Well, Zayda do be killing step shows. So maybe she just at work like, hey, hey, she could be because there is no way.
Right.
Like,
and Brittany was like, they must be nurses or something.
Something.
Because I'm like, this is not okay. Like,
yes. Cause,
who walks this much?
My Apple Watch definitely have to remind me to even stand up. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, hey.
Yeah, like at 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, let me get on this treadmill.
Let me get these steps in because I already know.
Because sister mailman,
listen,
can't nobody compete with her.
The step game is real, y'all. Like, it's real competitive, apparently.
Yeah, so that's what's been going on with me.
Okay.
So it is.
Hey, it is.
So yeah, we started again on Monday, and we invited in Taisha. So
okay,
I'm excited to see what she gonna do. Hopefully she doesn't.
I feel like it looked like Taisha be walking like a lot.
Yeah, I know. It said that like her average, I forgot what it was, but I was like, oh my god, I gotta step my game up.
See?
My average ain't even there.
But then that's good because then you recognize like where you lag, and you be like, okay, you're more cognizant of it. Like I have to get up and walk.
I think I've only been using the Fitbit for like 2 weeks, so my week 1 just really wasn't good because after Brittany kicked my butt so bad, I was just like, I'll never walk again, but week 2, I think I had to do at least like 1,200 steps a day just to compete with y'all sorors.
With everybody else, yeah.
But I think my average probably says like 9,000 or something.
Okay.
Because week 1 was so bad.
Okay.
So.
No,
so yeah,
you could do it. No, and Taisha was also on the pod, Miss Potty Pearls. So, well, she did an ad for the pod. So
yes,
yeah.
So yes, get your Potty Pearls.
Yes,
honey.
get those. They're great.
Yes,
sure.
and I keep meaning to buy some more.
Yeah,
because every time I walk into the bathroom at work, Jesus,
you be like, oh no, she got two Potty Pearls. For sure. Yes. No, they absolutely work, y'all. So yeah, yes. Order those ASAP.
Yes. All right, so let's get into the tip. So we are reading Michelle Obama's Becoming, and you can read along with us. Use our free 30-day Audible trial, www.audibletrial.com/BWB. BWB is in Brunch with Besties. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into our topic. So as I mentioned, I've been checking in on Rebecca, trying to see, how she's doing, where she's at with everything, and she's really hot and cold. Like sometimes she's up, sometimes she's down. She's just like, she'll have her moments where she's like, you know what, I'm glad things, I found out and things could be worse and stuff like that. And then some days she's like, how come he didn't pick me? How come I'm only good enough for side chick material? Like, what happened? And da-da-da-da-da. So that's why we want to talk about this whole kind of lack mentality. Because basically what she's doing is she's comparing herself to the other girl.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, she spent a lot of time on her page. Like,
so we still ain't moved past the creepy dude. That's where we're at.
That she's still on the creepy dude.
Gotcha.
Yes. So yeah, she's doing a lot of comparison. Like, did he like her because of this? Did he like her because of that? Maybe she's more outgoing than me. Maybe she's more bubbly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like this whole comparison trap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, he's a cheater. He was looking to cheat.
Listen, right. So I was just about to say, in the words of Sherry Renee, like, that's not the dude you want anyway. Like, he it's not that he's choosing her over you, but they clearly have some type of foundation before you were even thought of. Because, like you said, his whole point was to cheat. There was nothing else aside of that. So you can't well, she shouldn't be comparing herself to that young lady because, again, it's apples to oranges. They had a foundation. He was probably with her for a long time. Who knows? Who cares?
Right.
Too?
It doesn't even matter.
It don't even matter. But there's nothing to compare there when his whole objective with you was to cheat and get that off.
And it didn't matter if it was you or anybody
else.
But you accepted you know, not that you accepted it because at the time she didn't know that she was cheating, but she didn't hold him to the standard that she would someone who she was looking to be with.
Yeah.
You know?
So he just slid through the door.
So he slid through the cracks. Yeah. And that's what happened.
For sure.
He would have been more than happy to cheat with me.
It with anybody.
Or with you.
It would have been anybody.
Because
he was too free, I feel like. Like, he was real bold where he was doing that with probably everybody he could, but some other women didn't let him slide through the door.
But in her mind, she keeps feeling like she missed out on something great. Because so in her mind she's like, and he's taking her on these trips, and you know, and he got her this house, and he's doing all of this and doing all of that and catering to her and da 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 da, and how come I'm not good enough for that? And I'm like, so then that's when we shifted into the whole lack conversation, you know, where I was telling her that I feel that she's number one, you're comparing yourself to a woman who's being cheated on. So mind you, this woman and her boyfriend were on a trip where the girl learned that her boyfriend was having unprotected sex with
somebody
Rebecca.
Else. Yeah.
So, and I was telling her, like, do you know how devastating that is? This girl packed up her whole life, moved across the country to be with a man, moved in with him to find out, then goes on a trip, finds out that she's basically being cheated on. So why is she goes? Why, if you know, number one, I don't agree with comparing yourself, period.
Right, period.
But if we are going to compare ourselves, let's not set the bar low.
Yeah.
Like, the goal cannot be that I want to be the main chick who's on a trip and there's another side chick. Like, that can't be the goal.
Yeah.
And so that's when I told her that I feel that she has a lack kind of mentality where you feel like that's the best I can do.
Yeah.
So I can't let him go because it's the best that I can do. Whereas I told her, because she was like, well, what does she said, Sherry Renee, what does she have that I don't have? And I said, she got 99 problems.
Right. She got a cheater. And that's not what you want.
You get to walk away.
Exactly. Freely.
Free and clear. And say, no thanks, universe, I don't want that.
Is she still trying to have conversations with him?
No, she has not been in contact with him. She has not been in contact with the girl.
Okay.
But she has high highs, low lows.
Gotcha. So and she kind of beats herself up about it. Okay. Yeah, I think the best way I can think of this is the analogy, like, if we all threw our problems into a pile, that we would definitely pick ours back up before we picked up anybody else. So I want her to really look at this situation in that mindset, in that regard, because like we keep reiterating, he's a cheater. Like, you don't want that. Like, she's getting the house, the trip, but think about her social and emotional, like, competence. Like, it's hurting her. We all look good on Instagram. We all look good when we post stuff on social media, and we're like, oh, I'm on vacation with bae, this is great. But when she read that message that he was cheating on her and he smashed somebody with unprotectedly, like, I'm devastated.
Yeah,
like,
whole world
just gone. Like, I'm surprised she didn't murder him, because at that point, like, you are doing too much. Like, it's one thing to cheat on somebody, okay, but to have unprotected sex with somebody in 2018, you doing too much.
Right.
Like,
she gotta go get tested now.
Like,
fear of the cooties.
Exactly. Like, you're putting my life in danger too. Like, no.
And that's what I told her. I said, okay, let's focus. You keep painting him as this amazing man that you missed out on. Let's focus on what we know.
Exactly.
We know that he is selfish, that he has no regard for anybody else, because he doesn't even respect her.
Yeah, at all.
So your goal is to be with a man who doesn't respect you. Like, how, why should we assume that he's a great boyfriend to her when he is a cheater?
Absolutely.
Which by my standard makes you not a good boyfriend.
Yeah. Yep.
And then to be so selfish to not even want to offer protection.
Right.
Like, I don't understand how that's even, like, why we even want to, I guess, make, like, gloss this up and make it into some amazing picture when everything that we know is bad.
Is bad. Mm-hmm.
So if everything that we know is bad, why would we make positive assumptions about this man?
For sure. And I think that a lot of that goes back to just your upbringing and what you were exposed to. So, I mean, I know Rebecca a little bit. I feel like I know a little bit about her background as well. And even in my own background, like, we choose to tolerate a lot of what we assume to be right because we didn't grow up with this kind of, like, this is the standard. Like,
right,
this is what it should be. So even to remove it from Rebecca and putting it on myself, like, in the past, I would allow a lot of that stuff to happen, a lot of the disrespect, and you can treat me any kind of way because I didn't know that this is not how I'm supposed to be treated.
Right.
Whether
There's
it was
other options.
There is other options. So I don't want her to feel like this is the end all be all, because this was just, it should be a learning opportunity for her to be like, okay, I know this is not what I want, because we have presented you all the bad. All of this is bad. Yeah. There is no silver lining in this.
It's all bad.
It's all bad. So hopefully she can learn from this and be like, okay, I know that's not the type of relationship that I want. I feel like from jump, like, the relationship was wrong. Like, when he came to her house and took off his clothes, this wrong. Right. You doing too much. So it started off that way, where it was just like, nah, this ain't what I want.
I'm so glad that you said that. So let me backtrack. I agree.
Yeah.
Right. I think that it's, a lot of times it's what we know, and that's why I'm saying, like, the lack mentality.
Yeah,
we have to stop accepting things because they're available.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that cannot be it. And then she kept saying, well, he has to be excuse me, being an amazing boyfriend, otherwise why would that girl be putting up with this? And I said, the same reason why you're willing to put up with it.
It's not funny, but that's true, man.
The same reason why I put up with what I put up with, years ago. The same reason why you like, these men were not being good to us.
Exactly.
They just weren't. But one
of
the things that you just said, I have a clip from Matthew Hussey, and I feel like we're going back, but I feel like it's necessary.
We got to touch on it,
and
this is all
I want to point it out because something that he said really, it's profound, and I thought that it was very true, and I think that it's something that we all know, but we don't like to admit. So I'm gonna play it real quick.
Okay. Turn it up.
Is the successful people.
We're going to try that again, guys, but it's very profound.
Going on a bad day. The difference is the successful people cut them off early. Yeah. The moment they see a red flag, they're out of there. But that requires a significant level of internal confidence, because you've got to know you're worth more than that. So I once heard a phrase, relationships often end the way they began. Meaning, whatever ends a relationship, you could have seen in week one if you were paying attention, but you chose to ignore it. I think you're a smart woman, and I don't believe for 1 second that those men became the devil 6 months into the relationship. I think you saw the stuff that was wrong early on and chose to ignore it. So I don't think your problem is with finding great men. I think your problem is a battle with yourself. The next time you meet a guy who is bad for you, you have to be strong enough to not start investing more in that guy just because it's the devil you know and it's harder to go out and meet someone new. Does that make sense? Preach, brother!
So basically what he's saying is, there's a saying where it says that relationships end the way that they start. Right? And that a lot of times what it is that we knew early on, but we ignored the signs. And that's what happened here with Rebecca. That's what happened here, with us in past relationships as well. But I think that comes from a lack mindset, right? We think like, oh, no. That's what he said or that's what he did, but he's still a good guy. So let me keep pursuing. Let me keep investing. Let me keep trying. And then he continues to be who he always was. And then it comes to a head.
Yeah. He said something that I was about to go to church for a second because I was like, that is so true. So those red flags, they appear right away. And I think I just did a blog about this, but we have on these rose colored glasses when we enter these new relationships and situationships where we don't see things clearly. They're there. We just don't see it clearly. So there's never been a relationship that I've even been in personally where it's just like, well, this didn't work, because he just threw this out his back pocket and it was just like, oh my God. No, it was there. Like my last boyfriend was like, yeah, like I'm really not trying to commit. I don't want to get married, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Like he said that from jump. But in my mind, I was just like, no, I'm gonna change his mind. Like that's no,
he gonna marry me.
He gonna marry me. But no, he not, bro. Like you cannot change his mind. He told you from jump. There's nothing you can do, and you continue because you have those rose-colored glasses on to think that you can fix it and change it. But people, they not trying to surprise you or set you up. They will let you know right away who they are. But when it comes to matters of the heart, we choose to let our heart lead. And sometimes the heart can be that tricky device where it's just off of emotion. You're not even thinking the way you should be thinking. So that's real, man. And what we see when we have those rose colored glasses on can definitely like hurt your feelings real fast.
And I agree. Feelings are not logical
at all.
You know, and that's why I think it's so important to do it early on before you get so invested.
Yes.
The longer that you stay in, the harder it is, right? But I think at the end of the day, we need to go back to what's our objective. You know what I mean? Like if we want to get married, like want a certain level of respect, want this, that, and the third, like we need to be able to say this does not align with what I'm looking for. He cannot give me what I'm asking for. And that's something that we have to be able to not be afraid to let go of. You know, the whole reason why we'll sit there and settle for it is because we think that there's no way for us to come back. So, yeah, I think what ends up happening is we're afraid of letting things go because we think that that's all that there is. But if it doesn't align with what it is that we want, we have to be like, no, let it go. Because when you accept what you get, you're going to keep getting what you accept. And so then what happens is we're saying, yes, universe, this is what I like. So then the universe is going to keep bringing it. But if you reject it, no, he's not husband material. And that's basically what Matthew Hussey was saying. All types of men. So the thing that Rebecca was saying is, how come men only see me as a side chick? That's not the problem. You just keep accepting the side chick, right? So all types of men are always gonna try with every type of woman, right? Loyal men, trifling men, cheating men, gambling, whatever. Every type of man is gonna always approach the same woman, but she has to discern and use her wisdom and say no thanks to man A, no thanks to man B, maybe to man C. You know what I mean? Like we have to be able to do that screen. And
you know when they're trying you to see, you know, how far they can get and where they can go with you, like they gon' test you right off bat, like send you the late text after 10, like what you doing, or like can I come over, those little pieces where you like this ain't what I want, like this not what I'm trying to do. Or you could easily be like, I don't text after 9 p.m. Like try again in the morning. Like I'm not, or don't respond at all. Like they gonna try you. And once they figure out that, oh, she going, then I'm gonna put her in this box and this is gonna be the side piece because she's letting me through this door. So guys, they very well know what they're doing in that regard. But like Sherry Renee just said, you have to use that discernment to be like what you will and won't accept in that, because you don't have to accept that. So
amen. Yeah. So we just got to stop settling for whatever's available. I went to, I was telling you guys that I went to a conference last week by John C. Maxwell. He had other guest speakers, but in his section, he was talking about advanced attraction. And he was talking about how when you know who you are and you know what you want, your eyes, ears, hands, movement, everything will move towards what it is that you want. But in order to do that, you have to know what that is. You know what I mean? You have to know who you are and you have to know what you want. Because then when you do that, you start to only move towards things that align with that. But when you don't know those things, you'll just take what's available. Okay, yes. Sometimes we need to say no.
Yeah, for sure.
No thanks.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that is true not only in relationships, but everything in your life, career, relationships, just anything that you have going on. You have to really know who you are at your core, because the universe gonna keep giving you what you put out there. And if you putting out like, I don't know, like you spinning in circles, the universe gonna give it right back to you.
Right.
So,
all bigger circles
for
you to
circles
spin in.
for sure. So it's really on you to figure that out, and you have to kind of stop and not beating yourself up about it. And I think that's the tone here, because we can get in that kind of self-loathing that, I'm beating myself up, or I'm hard on myself. Like, we are absolutely our own worst critics. And if we continue to stay there, then that learned helplessness or hopelessness will definitely shine out in you, because you've put it in your own mind that, this is all I'm good enough to do, or this is the only man that I'm good enough to get. Then that's what you're going to get. You keeping yourself at that low point. So don't get in the habit of that, or find a way out to be like, because as friends and, people who we can only pour into you so much, but if you don't recognize that within yourself, what we say it doesn't matter. It's not going to register. So my advice to that is just be like, no, like, I am worth whatever. Sky's the limit for me. Like, God put me here for a reason. I'm worth it all. Like, there is a guy out there, and it's totally easier said than done. I know that for a fact. But you have to be hopeful and faithful in that there is whatever you proclaim, and you believe that there is something better out there for you.
Right. And not only that, but make that commitment to yourself. Stop breaking your own standards. Like, if you want a guy to treat you a certain way, you have to stop treating yourself poorly.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I told her, I said, my fear is that you're going to get a man like him, because that's what you aspire to.
Yeah.
You made that girl's life the bar. You can get that.
Right. If you want, right. He down the street.
I'm afraid because that's what you're so set on, and how come, you couldn't be her, the main chick. I'm afraid that that's what you're going to get. So, I was telling her that, if you going to want something, let's want the best,
Dream big, for sure. Because he's out there, and if the standard and the goal is for somebody like him, then they're a dime a dozen. They're everywhere.
One of the other things that Matthew Hussey said, I saw this post on his Instagram. It said, if a man is acting hot and cold, turn the faucet off. And I was like, ooh.
Ain't no lukewarm up in here. you either in or you out.
It's just like the church. Right? Hey, ain't no lukewarm Christians.
Ain't none of that. You either in or you out.
You believe or you don't. Ooh. And that's the other thing. You don't get what you want, right?
Yes.
You get what you believe.
Yes.
So you gotta believe that you're worth
that
the
is
best.
a word. That's beautiful. And I'm big on that. Like, that gray area, like, I don't know, I'm thinking about. No. You either know or you don't know. There is no, I need to think about this. So that is absolutely a word that I and even in my own last few relationships where it was like that, like, well, I don't know, or what if I have these what if feelings, or what are you what ifing? Like, if we together, right. What are you still pondering and thinking about?
Right. And if you gotta ponder and think,
go
ahead and do that.
Right.
Just do it without me.
Do it without me, by yourself. And that's okay. And that's it. That's the key. Like, you have to learn to be okay with that. Like, if they choose to walk away, okay. You got to be good with that decision.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, like, the lack mindset, because we have to be willing to let it go. Like, oh, you're unsure? Okay. Let me set you free so you can have all the time and space that you need to think about that.
Exactly.
But while you're doing that, I'm going to get back to me.
Exactly.
Because I'm priority here.
I'm number one.
My priority cannot be trying to convince you to be with me. Another thing that Matthew Hussey posted, he said, stop trying to convince someone else to love you and worry about convincing yourself. And I was like, does he want an offering?
Listen, because he definitely be preaching, because self-love is number one. And if you don't love yourself, how can you expect anybody to love you?
Especially when we teach people how to love us
Absolutely.
and how to treat us.
There's no way that
and that's in every area. That's, your friends. That's professionally. That's these men,
Especially them. So, yes, that is everywhere. So, if you don't love yourself, it's going to be real hard for somebody else to come in and try to love on you when you dropping your own standards, or you side changing yourself. Like, you can't do that to yourself. And I do it to myself too, because this week when my steps been real struggly, and I've really been like side changing myself. Like, oh my gosh,
I think it's because I was going hard all week trying to compete with him.
Today you was like,
on Saturday I did like 1,000 steps.
Listen, you and me, but I'm like, it's been really struggly. So don't give up on yourself, because how can you expect somebody to ride for you and you not even riding for yourself?
So exactly. Yeah.
Because
what you're saying is I'm not worth it.
Exactly.
I don't matter.
Yep.
I get to be last. But I'm gonna put you first.
Yep. And you putting that in the universe. This is a word. I feel like I'm listening. I'm taking notes too.
Yeah. But I think that goes for, like I said, like every area of your life, like this whole lack mentality. I think that Rebecca's just an example.
Yeah.
But it shows up everywhere. And it's something that we have to start owning and start saying, okay, well, how am I contributing to this?
Yeah.
What fundamentally makes me think this way?
Yep.
And is it something that I can change? Oh, I own it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, then, it's something I can change.
Exactly. And that is the whole key of this. It really starts with you and who you are and what you're able to do. You can change it all day. You have to have the mindset to want to change that.
But if you continue to tolerate it, you're going to continue to get it. So I think that was, certain areas. So I actually went out with Talena for her birthday.
Oh, nice.
On yesterday, because I had off.
Oh, right. You're off work.
So we went out to brunch. And it's a sweet diner. We need to go brunch there.
Yeah, you've been there a lot.
Yeah, it's like my third time going.
Sherry Renee is not real, because I've not been there not once, and she should be making all these plans with everybody else. But it's okay. We're gonna let her live today. But yeah,
so she had off and I had off, and she and I were just talking, and we were just talking about, like, we got to set new standards, for how people get to interact with us.
Yeah.
Like, certain things are just not okay.
Yeah.
But if you continue to keep allowing it and tolerating it, then you can say all day that it's not okay. But they're going to keep doing it.
Exactly.
So your actions need to show that this is not okay.
And it's hard to teach somebody a new way when they've learned the incorrect way. So I remember when back in high school, so I went to an arts high school, and we would like learn music. Like, we had to read music and learn songs like in Latin and all kind of stuff. So our choir director would always say, like, you learning it wrong. Like, if you learning it wrong, it's forever gonna be wrong. Like, now you can't unlearn this, because you've already put it in your brain that this is how it go, and that's wrong. So that always stuck with me. Like, once you learn something incorrectly, like, it's really hard to kind of backtrack and fix that, because now it's in your brain that this is how it goes.
And not only that, but I don't even want to say learn correctly, but sometimes we're teaching incorrectly. You know what I mean? Because you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
So if for however long this has been okay, and then all of a sudden you're saying that it's not, to the other person, what they have been doing may have just been wrong all along, but now all of a sudden you calling them out on it, and they like, whoa, you changed.
It's a shock. Right. You've changed for sure.
Now you tripping.
But this is what it should have been.
Right. This is what it should have been. So I'm just bringing you up to date.
Yeah. Yep. But, and that's going to be hard for people to kind of make that adjustment. But again, if they choose to walk away, that's okay.
Exactly.
Go ahead with your bad self. Like, I will open the door for you. You got to go. But if they're willing to be like, okay, you trying to teach me the right way, and I want to continue to invest in you because there's something in there within you that I want to be a part of.
Right.
And if they make that genuine effort to meet you where you are, then that's fine. But if they're like, oh, no, you knew, I don't like this new you. All right, peace. Like, you gotta go.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think that's what it's all about. It's about what we're accepting and what we're allowing. And we can't put everything on the person, like, oh, they treated me this way. It's like, that's one part of it. Right.
Right.
Like, yes, you mistreated me. Let's acknowledge that. Have? But then the other part is like, I taught you to treat me this way.
Yeah. And then that's some
so you
self-reflection
think
for you.
that this is okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, when people do stuff, like, I legit be like, so you legitimately think that this is okay.
Right.
Like, that's where I am first. But then second, I'm like, so I taught them that this is okay.
Yeah, and you got to do some deep reflection within yourself to be like, oh, man.
So then you got to start telling them, this is not okay.
Yeah.
But then you have to follow through with the actions.
And you have to be consistent with it, too. Like, you cannot backslide in that, because then they're going to be like...
Right, and not be afraid of the outcome, because, again, you're honoring you.
Yep.
You are following through with the commitment that you made to yourself. You are no longer putting the commitment to this person before your own commitment to yourself.
Yep.
So however the chips fall, that's how they fall.
Yep. Hey, and that's okay. That's the whole point of this. So this lack-minded, like, we're all powerful human beings. God designed us that way. So we all have everything within us that we need to be just great. It's just us getting those great ideas out of ourselves and those great relationships out of ourselves. And truly believing that, you know, we're capable of that. And I think somewhere along the line, whether it was your childhood or, you know, somebody broke your heart along the way, where you just we really be like, oh no, like I can't do this.
And to go along with that, there's some things that we have to stop saying. Like, we can't, like, as it relates to relationships, we have to stop saying that there's no good men out there.
Yeah.
That all good men are either gay or married or, you know, whatever people are saying. Like, we cannot say that and then desire to have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Because if that's our mindset, then we're going to either attract a man who is either gay or married.
Yep. Yep.
Or someone who's just not a good man.
Yeah.
Because we've ingrained in ourselves that they just don't exist.
Yep. And that's the first people that we're going to see are those people, because it's hardwired in our brain now that this is it.
And
this
that,
is
and
the
not
pool
only
that I
but
have.
that's the devil that we know. You know?
Oh, no, that's good. I did a poll today on Instagram asking, were there any good men out there? And apparently there are. So I've never been the type to kind of bash guys anyway. Like, I'm definitely like, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, everybody's different. Like, I don't play favorites in that manner where it's just like, no, all dudes are trash. Because you get that rhetoric from some women where they're just so fed up when it's just like, well, all men are trash. Well, no, all men are not trash. Maybe the handful that you dealt with were trash.
Right.
But
you
again,
keep accepting trash.
You accepted
so
it.
if you a garbage can, then you gonna attract trash.
Hey, people gonna Steph Curry every time right in your basket. They gonna make it happen. But then again, where is that self-reflection piece? Like, if all men are trash, then what are you doing to enable that trash? Like, they're there to Kobe it in your trash can, so you're a part of the problem too. So if you have that mentality that, you know, there are no good dudes, there are guys too who are like, all the females are, they're gold diggers, or they this, or they trash, then what did you pour into that? Because it's not one-sided, and everybody can't play the victim. We all have to be accountable for our part in all of that. But there are some pretty good dudes. And according to, you know, my Instagram, most people believe that there are some great guys out there. So that's,
like, what's the percentage?
So far, we have... So I asked the question, are there any good men out there? And 88% believe that, yes, there are.
Good. Okay.
And 12% said no. So those people who voted no.
said no. They're all bad.
Oh, no. Well, it was only one person that voted no.
Okay.
So who hurt you? That would be my next question. Who hurt you? Because there are some good dudes out there. And sometimes, you know, we tunnel ourselves. We have that tunnel vision of ourselves. Like, okay, well, are there any good dudes out there? Yeah, but they're, like you said, they're married, or they're gay, or they have to be black, or they have to have a job. Like, we put those notions on them ourselves, and then you missing a whole group of men, that because you have these kind of labels and categories of what a good man is. And you don't want to do that, because you're missing out on the good dudes that are out there, because you labeled them all, and you don't want to do that.
I think the other thing with Rebecca is that she kind of feels, in a sense, rejected, and rejection is not, you know, it's something that it's always hard to deal with. You know, you feel unwanted and just, you know, it doesn't do well for your self-esteem if you're not grounded right in who you are. And one of the things that Matthew said again, here we go again from the book of Matthew.
From the book of Matthew.
Listen. He says you can't always control being rejected, but you can 100% decide on the meaning you give to it. And I think that right now her interpretation, well, and not even right now, right? Because again, she's hot and cold.
Yeah.
Some days she's like, yes, F him, right? I get to start over, you know. But then some days she's like, and how come he didn't want me?
Yeah.
You know? So it's just hot and cold, and that's what it is.
Okay.
And sometimes you just gotta work through that space.
And it's not gonna instantaneously happen overnight. Right. I mean, it's just happened. Like, this is still like, fresh.
Yes, it's very fresh.
So we don't want to say like, oh, Rebecca, get over it, like, but no, go through those emotions. You have
and
to.
And that was the commitment that she made to herself.
Yeah.
She was like, you know what, I'm going to intentionally go through every emotion, feel every pain, get to the root of all of it, work through it, because she was like, I can never allow myself to be at this spot again. And I was like, you know, I agree, because she was like, you know, let's just say that I do get married and blah blah blah, and then something happens to rock the boat. I don't want it to tear me down to this place again. And I was like, you know, I agree. And I don't know if that's, you know, because I was thinking the same thing. You know, like, if something happens and I get married and something weird happens and now we got to separate, because I was looking at Jeannie Mai crying on the reel, you know, about her husband and all of that. Yeah. Like, not that I don't want to be emotionally invested, but I want to be able to say, like, okay, like, I'm going to grieve, but then I'm done, like, because I'm still me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just want to be like, all right, we're done here.
Yeah.
Back to being me.
Back to being me. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's what we would like, but the way our emotions set up, like, you have to go through those steps and those processes, no matter how, like, hard or excruciating those things are. Because I've been there too, man. Like, you deal with people and you give your heart so freely to people, and then when they just fumble your heart, you be like, bruh, like,
gotta fumble
listen, like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I'm not giving my heart to nobody else. Yes, loose ball, loose heart on the play. Like, oh no. So yeah, I've totally been there where I'm just like, you know what? I'm about to be like Omarion, like Icebox, where my heart used to be, because I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like that, like Icebox, but listen, you know, to the point
I was almost there,
where you can still be invested, still be emotionally involved. If something happens, grieve it.
Yeah,
but not let it break you.
You know what I mean?
So I think that there's a difference between going through the emotions and feeling the pain and not, because that's just evidence that you were invested.
Yeah.
But then I think there's also, you know, a certain point where your spirit is broken. You know, and you've changed now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I think that that's where she is, and I agree. I don't know if that's possible or not, right? Because thinking about Jeannie Mai and everything that happened,
so
you know,
sad
with her, you know, initially she's the one who filed for the divorce and saying, like, all right, this is what's best for us. Yeah. Like, we're gonna do this amicably.
Well, let's go back. What's going on with Jeannie Mai? Because maybe our listeners don't know. They're gonna be like, what are y'all talking about?
So Jeannie Mai is one of the hosts from the daytime talk show called The Real.
Yeah.
She was married to her husband Freddie for 10 years, and about a year ago she decided to file for divorce. At the time, when she announced it on The Real, she said that it's because she didn't want to have children, and she felt that he did. And while she felt that he was okay with going along with her not wanting to have it, she felt like it was a real desire that he had, and that she was keeping him from that. So she filed for divorce. At the time, things seemed to be very amicable. They, you know, kind of seemed to be still, you know, like a lot of love was there, but more of a mutual kind of separation. But then what ended up happening is he started dating this other woman, and she, like, instantly got pregnant. Yep. And then the Real fans and the other co-hosts started kind of adding up dates, and they started to suspect that he was cheating on her. Yeah. And so now that's part of the issue that they're having, right? Is when did he really start dating this other woman? Because apparently he always knew this other woman. Yeah. And this woman allegedly. Thank you.
Let's throw that out there.
Allegedly. And this woman allegedly attended other trips that they were on as a couple.
Yeah.
also, there seems to be some disputes between... Okay, so before they got married, they signed a prenup.
Oh, okay.
And now what's happening is they're fighting over money. And so it sounds like the new woman, the pregnant...
The
girlfriend of...
Freddie.
Thank you.
I'm trying to keep up here.
She's saying that, hey, he signed the prenup that you created, and now you're trying to go against your own prenup, and that's what's drawing this whole divorce out. So apparently now divorces are only supposed to take like 46 weeks, and they can be done like online.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, according to Daytime Tea Time, shouts out to them.
Listen,
they're saying that they're only supposed to take like 46 weeks now.
So you can do it online.
But because they're contesting, so she apparently... allegedly, Jeannie Mai is contesting her original prenup, and the girlfriend is saying that she's trying to get like his family's money and all of this. So I don't know if all that is true or not, but things got really ugly. And on The Real the other day, she started crying because she was saying how her husband Freddie had this quote that he would always tell her, where he would say, you never know who a person really is until they don't get what they want. And she was like, it's funny that the person who taught me the quote is the one who's like acting it out and showing me what it really means. So who knows what really goes on behind closed doors? Who knows what the real issues are? There's a lot of speculation, obviously, and a lot of blog posts and vlog posts about it. But either way, they were together for 13 years and married for 10, and they had a real marriage. It appears that they were very loving and and all of that. So during the demise of that, and then it happens to be very public. Yeah. And then obviously this other woman, now pregnant and having a baby like any day now. It's it just seems that Jeannie's emotions kind of changed. Yeah. So initially it was very amicable and this is what it is, and it was sad, but it was like, I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah, she was very strong.
Yeah. But now it's almost like, who am I? What happened? Like, just that whole shift.
And then with it, like you said, with it being public, you got people in your ear. Now it's all this allegedly stuff being thrown at her, and now let's look at the prenup. So it's all these other pieces. And she said that in the interview where she kind of broke down that divorce will change you, and it is definitely starting to change her. And as she's going through that, so yeah, my heart definitely goes out to her, because that's a lot to deal with heartbreak in itself, but to do it in front of like publicly, millions of people, that's a different thing, and that will like kind of break your spirit and tear you down. So it's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot going on with that, but I've definitely felt in that situation where, man, your replacement sometimes be right next to you. You don't even know.
You don't even know. So, ain't that crazy? Yes. But it's funny because, I think that we've all been in the place of Rebecca. I don't know if we've all been in the place of Jeannie Mai, unless we've been married.
Oh, no.
That's just a different level.
It's a different level.
But we've all been in the place of Rebecca where we just felt, low and down about ourselves, and even just like, hey, how come I wasn't good enough for this or whatever. But it's funny how in time later people can ask you about the same person and you're like, oh,
right. That time is wonderful, man.
Yeah, and that's what I keep,
in hindsight.
Right, in hindsight. But while you're going through it, you got to go through it. But I just keep trying to remind her that, like Matthew Hussey says, this man is gonna be an extra in the movie that was your life. Ooh. Somebody's gonna bring him up, and you gonna forget who he even was.
You ain't even gonna know. Yes.
And so it's like, we got to stop investing all the it's one thing when it was your husband, you know what I mean, but like for these other guys, we have to be willing to just let them go. And just be like, hey, all right, it is, that's what that is, okay.
Yeah, for real. And sometimes, and even in my own case, like I'll see exes, and like during the separation period, it's just like, oh my God, I can't stand him. Like, I don't want to see his face. But now, like, I see exes all the time. Just be like, what up? Like, it's okay. Like,
how's your mom?
Yeah, like, you good? Like,
right,
I'm glad
good.
Everything's great. And, I'm being my same bubbly self, because you don't want to give that. Nobody should have that much power over you and your well-being and your energy. So I'm not gonna give you that power. Like, I'm gonna be salty for a minute. I gotta grieve, get through that. But once I'm over that, and I can truly forgive you, and I'm gonna pray for you, because it's you. All of that is on you. The way you treated me, you gotta deal with God about that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So I'm gonna pray, and I'm gonna keep it moving. Right. So exactly. And that's something we have to remember, that when people do stuff to us, it's not a reflection. There's a reflection of me, but I don't have to deal with that that guiltiness of that you treated me wrong. Like, you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
So,
and like Matthew Hussey said, you get to decide how you interpret that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if someone rejects you or however things play out, but when you take a stand and say, no, I'm not doing this anymore, this is no longer okay. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what happened with Rebecca, right? When she found out about the girlfriend, it was like, oh no, like this has gone too far.
Yeah.
Like that one thing I am not.
Yeah. She was like, oh no.
Right. I'm a lot of things.
But I ain't about to do this.
But a side chick ain't one of them.
Yeah. But now we taking this too far. So.
And I mean, sometimes you do. Sometimes what happens is that you just need to sometimes you just get some perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that after she had that conversation with my brother, and my brother said he has a girlfriend or a wife, like, I think it hit her to the point, because I think I told y'all, she started suiting up, drove, going to go look. Then she was so committed to that Facebook and Instagram search, and then she finally found her.
Yeah, you will always find what you're looking for.
You'll always find, but if you have to go look,
hey, that tells you.
Like, I think that there's, we just got to get to the point where we don't have to go look, we don't have to pray, we don't have to ask our friends about it, because we are, like, when you gotta do all of that, you already know.
Yeah, there's
like when you gotta say, God, should I be doing this?
Yep.
Then you probably should. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's already that sense of doubt within you that you already know.
Like, your inner self just really knows that this is not aligned with what it is that you really want. So if you continue to do it, you're going to continue to keep getting what you've already got. Yeah. And if what you have isn't really what you want, then let it go.
Let it go.
And just be like, And that's what I was talking to, to Lena about as well. Like, we had a really good conversation, a lot of, insightful discussion just about, us evolving as beings and just, setting standards, communicating them, and sticking to them.
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay. And that's just what it is.
And that,
don't like it. Hell, I don't care.
Right. And that's okay.
It is.
And it is gonna be what it is. Like, I don't need to show you any more of that, any more than that this is good, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but I think sometimes what happens is you get perspective. Like, okay, for Rebecca, it was when she found the girlfriend, it was like, oh no. But had she not found the girlfriend, she probably still would be engaging with this guy.
Yep.
And I think that we all have our breaking points, but the flags and the signs are always already there.
From jump.
Yeah.
They be there from jump.
And so my goal would be to just nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
And to not be so fearful of, oh, but what if he's the one? Like, because if he is, then I'll find him again.
Exactly. He'll come back.
Right.
For sure. And if you are the one that he gonna recognize quick, that, okay, I don't want to lose her. Right. So I need to get myself together.
Right.
So, and if he not trying to do that, then he not the one.
Right. Exactly.
Listen, I'm taking all these notes because I be needing to hear it for myself. Like, listen.
But I think that that's really what happens, is that our inner self tells us, and we be like, shut up, inner self.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. We do.
And then something else will creep up. Oh, well, that was small. He's human. Like, oh, no one's perfect. Like, that's always where we go with that.
And it be them signs, clear as day. Like, listen, and it only be a sign. It's not a sign. This is facts. This is what this person is telling you. It ain't no sign or no puzzle that you have to piece together. Right. This is what they're showing you and telling you indirectly, and believe that it's true.
And sometimes directly.
And sometimes right in your face. Like, I don't want this relationship.
Yeah. And then I even told her, because, I told her, obviously, she was there during the whole time when I found out that my boyfriend had cheated on me. And so I was the main chick, right? And the side chick knew everything about me. Like, wasn't that great? And I said, you don't want to be that? Do you know how bad that was for me?
Girl.
I wasn't like, oh, but I'm the main chick.
Right. I got a trip, though.
I was like, no.
But you know what's crazy, though? Like, I mean, in our society, there is this thing where it's okay to be a side chick, unfortunately, in the world that we live in today. Like, so many young girls kind of maybe not aspire to it, but they're okay with it. Like, it's so normalized that it's just like, okay, like, I know he got a girlfriend, but whatever. Yeah. Like, that's okay.
And I agree, because men are outright asking women to be their side chick.
For sure. Yeah. And people are signing up, but then it's just like, in the way that women are wired by nature, like, we not made for that. Like, this whole, like, sister wives type stuff. in our true wiring, that's not really what we want.
Exactly.
I mean, whereas men are wired maybe that way just through like scientific studies and how closely related we are to like certain primates who are not like polygamous, that, you know, some men maybe they feel like they can, but as a woman, no. I don't care what this woman say. I don't care if she going to Amber Rose slut walk and she this fake feminist and she's empowered. You're hurt and you're gonna be salty by it every time.
Yeah, and that's really not feminism, but you know,
girl, that's a whole nother episode, but it ain't. So yeah, send us your hate mail because it ain't. But anyway,
at Brunch with Besties
yes,
podcast.
We'd love to read it, but yeah,
on
that's
IG.
So fake feminist.
Also our Gmail, and
listen, we want to hear about that. But no, I mean, in the world we live in, it is so many people, but it's good to recognize that there are women out there who like, you know what, that ain't cool, and it's not what I want to do. So yeah, I know I don't. I don't want to share, and I don't have time. Like, it's just, I'd rather just be by myself, bro. Like, you can have them. Like, if you're okay with that, then just, you know, you win. Right. So it's
I
yours.
don't want a man who wants that. So if that's what you want, then you just don't align with what I want.
Yeah,
so,
and that's okay.
Good day.
Right. I said good day.
I can't stand you. Because that even reminded me of, like, you know, Molly on Insecure with Dro. You know? Because she kept settling for what he was offering. I'm like, but Molly, this is not what you want. You want a family. You want a husband. He cannot give this to you. And then when she saw that his wife was pregnant,
salty,
she was like, oh, they're about to have a whole family. Yes, she's about to get everything that
without
you want.
You, exactly.
Because you keep settling for what he's offering.
Ooh, that girl.
Just because he offers something don't mean we got to take it. We have to start saying no thanks.
Which was crazy because they grew up together. Like, they had a really strong foundation where I felt like she could have expressed that to him, like, no.
But see, I think that's where we mess up, because there's a lot of assumptions between people who've known each other for a long time. Okay. You know what I mean? I would have been because you know me so well, I would have been like, why would you even offer me some bullshit
that's
like
what
that?
I was
like, that's
thinking
what I would have been saying.
Like, don't you know me, bro?
But again, all the signs were there, all the flags were there. Like, things kind of slowly progressed with them. But, you know, and then too, he lives a different type of lifestyle with his wife.
Yeah, allegedly. Because we still don't know what's going on with that. What's fact?
In either case, that was never okay with Molly.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
This whole an open relationship was never okay with her.
I think she was just hurt by finding out her dad had been unfaithful, and she just spiraled downhill from there, where she was like, well, if my dad can do this, and I put him on such a high pedestal, then hey, I can continue to make these dumb mistakes that I'm making.
So when I was eating with Talena, she told me that a dear friend of hers, her grandfather passed away, and at the funeral he wanted her to read this letter. I think the wife passed away like a couple years earlier or whatever. And in the letter, you know, it said a lot, but one part that he wanted everybody to know was like, we've been married for 50 whatever years and I have never cheated on her. And he was like, I'm telling you this because I don't want you to settle for men who won't treat you right. Like, it's hard work, but I loved her. Find you a man that loves you. And not only loves, but respects you. And not only that, but I think that, you know, I forget who I was reading or listening to, but it was like, these girls want love so bad that they settle for any man. They need to find a man who respects them. And I think that that's the missing key with all of these different. Dro does not respect Molly, because she has said multiple times what she wants, but she keeps accepting what he's offering.
Yep.
Same thing with Rebecca. Rebecca said a lot of things to this man, but she was accepting what he was offering. He doesn't respect her. And that's what I told her about the girlfriend. He might, maybe he does take her on a trip, I don't know, but he does not respect that girl
at all. To
have unprotected sex with you, he does not respect her.
And then turn around and go on vacation with her, and I'm sure they're having unprotected sex as well.
Right. So where's the respect? So keep your love. Where's your respect?
Yeah, I don't want it. Right. The love will come. Now, this respect, we need this
people
off
love
top.
hot Cheetos. I want respect.
Listen, it is off top. I need that, like, right away. Now, that was a good showing of I'm glad he passed that letter down to his family members. That was great.
I don't want any of y'all girls to settle for these men, and just to think that nobody's gonna, you know, because that's what a lot of women think. Well, maybe I'll have an open relationship then, or well, at least I'll be the main chick.
Yeah.
She can be the side.
Yeah.
Just don't let me find out. Respect me enough not to bring her in my house, or respect me enough me enough not to do it.
And that's all settling. Like you can fake sound empowered if you want to, like fake empower yourself, but it's settling.
And people think that they're empowered because it's on their quote unquote terms, but you never wanted it to begin with.
Exactly. So you're settling. You falling into it. But I love that he said that, like, you know, I love this one woman for 51 years. It was hard work. And that's the part that our generation misses too. And people will say, like, what's a different time? It's, you know, it's social media, it's phones, like it's easier access. But the work doesn't change, whether it was 50 years ago or if it's now. Like if you love somebody and you say that, the work is going to be the same. That hasn't changed since people were created, since the start of creation. You gotta want to work. And they mentioned that on Insecure as well, when Lawrence was having that conversation with his dad. And I thought that was dope that they showed that, because we hadn't seen his parents at all.
I'm like, what scene was that?
Yeah, his dad and him were out to eat or something, and the dad wanted Lawrence to do something on his phone, so they had met. And I was shocked, like, wow, that's really his daddy. And
who played the dad?
The dude, he was in some. He fine though to be old. I don't remember who he is, but
okay, we ain't gonna go down this rabbit hole.
Right.
I'm about to Google.
Girl, listen, pull it up. But he is handsome. But he mentioned, like, you know, Lawrence was like, well, I want something like what you and mom have, and he was like, you think your mama and me done have baggage? Like, we both came in here with baggage. We both have stuff, so don't think that you're exempt from that because of who you are. He was like, but the difference is we worked. We had to work hard as hell to make our relationship work. And he was like, that's the problem with you young people. Like, y'all don't want to work. And I would totally agree with that. Like, now we live in this microwave age. We want stuff. We want it now. We want it fast. We don't want to wait for it. We just want it to magically appear in our laps. That's the generation we live in, and relationships don't work like that. Careers don't work like that. Success doesn't work like that. Yeah. Nothing works like that. But we're so, like, blinded, and we're tricked into seeing that because of how the media is run, that we think people are just instant successes, but we don't see the grind and the work that they put behind it.
Right. Exactly.
And we got to get over that type of culture, and especially in our relationships. Like, if you want your relationship to work, look at you. You have to work at it. If you truly love this person and you want to make it work with this person, you got to put in work. You can't half-seize it. It's 100% on both parts. It's not 50-50. It's not 80-20. It's 100% coming from both people to make that work.
And not only that, but those other things just magnify who you are. So social media, phones, whatever, you are who you are. Mm-hmm. Those things are just highlighting it and exposing it.
Exactly.
So it is what it is.
It is. So I'm glad they mentioned that. But that letter, like, really touched me. That's dope.
I know. Like, when she said that, I was like, that's so amazing.
That is great.
You know?
That is really great to say, like, listen, it was hard. And to highlight that, like, it's not always going to be like this wonderful relationship.
It's a commitment, and it's a choice.
It is. Yes, you know, it's a choice.
A commitment, and it's a choice, just like you commit to anything else.
Yep. And I think we miss that part where it's just like when a bad day does happen, and I'm guilty of this for sure. Like, when, you know, my relationship is not, like, the best day, and I'm just like, oh no, sin. Like, I just really go there. Like, it's over. Yeah. Like, I jump off the deep end. Like, oh my God, like, this is the end.
Wait, I'm supposed to be the dramatic one, though. Like,
no, when it comes to relationships, like, I'm super dramatic. So I'm like, oh, it's over. But I don't.
So you, like, and you're like,
yes,
it's over,
girl, crying in the shower, like, just doing the most, like, bro, God. It's one day. Y'all been together.
That is true, though, because that one day when I was over your house,
jumping off the deep end,
and we called my brother, and we made all these assumptions that it was over, and then he called. He was like, "Gotta go, Brian."
Right. So I need you to know, Brian. So yes, anytime I'm faced with, like, not like peaches and cream, I really be like, okay, this is the end, because maybe that's a defense mechanism within myself where I'm just trying to prepare myself for the worst. But dude, it's not the worst. Like, every day not gonna be happy. And mind you guys, that was the first time, and it's been like 2 other times since then where I just really, like, go off the deep end. And he called me, like, he'll, like, like, we need to talk. Like, okay, this is what's going on in my head. Like, this is my perception, and your perception is like way off. Like, come back. Like, you're going off the deep end.
Communication is key.
Communication is key, and you have to understand every day not gonna be good. It's not supposed to be. If every day was like rainbows and lollipops, like, that's fake, because that's not who we are every day. And there are days now where it's just like, I don't even want to be bothered at all. Like, I just want to be by myself. Yeah, right. Like, I text you back. Like, there are really days where I'm just like,
I said, I'm laying down.
Right. I said, good day. Like, I really check myself out, but then, I got to come out of that. But every day won't be good, and that's okay. It really, really is. But if you're having all bad days, then that's not good either. Like, that.
And I think, too, it's important to establish the boundaries up front, like what you're going to accept and what you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and in that way, when you're in the thick of it, you don't have to make an emotional decision. I already know.
Right.
This is a deal breaker, and I already told you what the deal breaker was.
Yep.
So you knew. So it's on you to think about what the impact is, not me.
Exactly.
Because I already told you what it is.
The ball's in your court. It's on you. So, yeah. And...
man, that is funny.
Girl, go on. Don't be like me.
I'm going down.
Girl, yes. All Mary J. Blige. Like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not... all bad, y'all.
Goodness.
But that's why, we use our platform. I try to keep it real with people, because I'm in the boat with y'all too. So I don't want anybody to be like, oh, they think they better than everybody. We have issues too, man. And
all of them.
All of them. And that's the beauty of having your own platform, because I want to share that with people to know that we going through it too. And I'm just a woman too that goes off the deep end sometimes.
That is so funny to me, though.
Yes,
because I always consider, how I can be sometimes. Like, I'm more like dramatic.
Yes.
So I wasn't expecting that.
Oh,
you.
girl.
That's funny.
Yes.
But then one day when I saw it, though, I was like, she just tripping right now.
Yes. Yes. And Sherry Renee was probably like,
I was just like, do you want me to call my brother?
Yes.
Like, how can we make this right?
And we called brother, and Brian was there, and he was like, yeah. But then he called, and I was shocked that he called, and I was like, he really gonna call me.
He was like, gotta go. Hung up my phone on my brother when we trying to help her.
I was having an intervention, and I was like, here he is, bye.
He said, gotta go, and Sherry, see yourself out. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like 1 o'clock in the morning.
I'm like, okay.
So I guess it's a wrap. But no, and that's the beauty about being with somebody who knows how to communicate, because this could have been very well left field if it was somebody else, because they would have been like, you're nuts.
Oh, God, but that's funny.
Yeah. So that's what happens.
So let me start my Tinder account.
I know, right? Like, I'm single. Done with this. Told y'all I was this close to being on Marion in my Icebox. I was not giving my heart to nobody else. I was done.
Funny.
Listen, people keep fumbling my heart. It's hard out here.
So my mind is a football field,
and
a loose heart,
just flopping around. That's how it feels, man. People gotta recognize.
Oh yeah, it's Sweetest Day today.
It is. Oh, I wanted to say that at the beginning when we did like our toast and tea time. But happy Sweetest Day, everybody. That's a Midwestern thing. Everybody doesn't do
Other
that.
people are like, what the hell is Sweetest Day?
Yeah, it's totally Midwest, and apparently, allegedly, it's for just guys, but that's not true, because on Google it said it's for anybody that you love.
Anybody who's sweet.
Yeah. So I was like, who made this up that it's for guys? Probably some dudes. Like, yeah, it's just for me. But it's really not. So happy Sweetest Day to everybody. Happy Sweetest Day to Sherry Renee. And JR is in the studio right now. So happy Sweetest Day, son. And happy Sweetest Day, Dooch. And everybody. Yeah, all our Pattern family.
Yes, happy Sweetest Day to everyone.
Even though it's a fake holiday.
It is. So, very fake, yeah.
But there are cards.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody in the Midwest made that up too.
They did.
Some small business was like, you know what?
We gonna capitalize on this. But yeah. And it's mostly celebrated in Ohio. So all of our Ohio listeners, shout out to y'all. Happy Sweetest Day. Holiday. Yeah, get it in there. Yeah.
Alrighty, so what goes in the to-go box?
Oh, man, this lack mindset. And I think we've done a really good job of bringing this to light, starting with the not feeling good enough and kind of really going into what that is and having this type of mindset. But really, you put out in the universe what you put into it. So if you're going to be negative with yourself and put that in your brain, then it's definitely going to come back to you in the universe. So we don't want that for you. Speak positively. Affirmations are wonderful. Speak positively over yourself every single day, because it's one thing for other people to speak positively over you and it doesn't really go through the flesh like it needs to. But if it's coming from you within yourself, then that's definitely going to pour out into the world. So that's what I'm taking away.
And I would say set your standards for what you really want, not what you think you can get. You know what I mean? So you want to shoot for the very best.
Yeah.
So your going in position should always be the best, because you feel that you deserve that, because you know that you're worthy of the best. And because somebody out there has what you want. So one person having what you want is evidence that there's other men out there that are willing to give that.
Yep.
So no more settling. No more accepting what's available. No more just, this whole lackluster attitude about what we can get. Not being afraid to say no. No, thank you. No, I don't want fries.
Yep.
I asked for onion rings.
All of that. And be okay with it.
And then when the onion rings come, I'm sorry, I wanted well done onion rings. And those are not. I'm for real. Like, you picking a life partner. If this ain't a place to be picky, then I don't know what is.
I don't either.
And I'm picky about food.
You are. Yeah. Every time we go out, I'll be like, okay, you like it? Do you like this food? Because I know it's either going back.
It's about to get real ugly in here.
Or, she'll get her money back. Either one. So
listen, either way, the meal's going to be covered.
Either way. But no, this totally makes me think of
But
Mary
it's
J.
amazing,
Blige.
though, because, people get like that about, like, potatoes. I don't just eat any potato salad, but you'll just date any man.
Right. That is so true. Like, I don't drink milk, but you're going to take Tony and he doing the most? Exactly. I don't understand. So
I'm vegan. I can't eat meat. I don't eat food with a face.
Listen.
So it's like, if we gonna have standards, in these other areas of our life and be so gung-ho about them, the least we can do
is have them in all
is have standards
aspects.
About our own heart.
For sure. Which is the most coveted, which is really what you should be. Listen, but you dealing with Billy and he treating you all bad.
Right.
I don't understand. So don't be like that.
Alrighty, so thanks for tuning in to Brunch with Besties podcast. Until next time.
Peace. Thanks, guys, for listening to Brunch with Besties podcast. Be sure to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, now YouTube, and Google Play. Basically, we airware. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review and rate us. We would so appreciate that. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to find us on Twitter. Our handle is BrunchWBesties. On IG, you can find us at Brunch with Besties Podcast. And if you'd like, you can shoot us an email. Our Gmail is brunchwithbestiespodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Peace.